Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I want to talk about my favorite and least favorite sources for guitar tabs online. Now there are only a handful of websites that I think are worth mentioning in this discussion, as I'm focused on the big websites where lots of tabs are stored. I also think it's worth prefacing all of this with something I've said many times in my lessons here on YouTube. Guitar tabs are often incorrect. In fact, it's rare to find a tab that is 100% accurate, especially with guitar solos, even from the best of the websites. That said, there are definitely some sources online that are easier to follow and more reliable, relatively speaking, than others. But let me know what you think down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you on what websites you find to have the best tabs and why you feel that way. So let's start with my least favorite source, and that has to be the official quote-unquote tabs from the Ultimate Guitar website. Now, I'm not knocking the Ultimate Guitar website overall. I actually think it's a pretty good website. I'm referring specifically to those that they call their own official tabs. Let me show you what I mean. If we do a search on their website for tabs for the Van Halen song Panama, you can see the results here. And if you look at the far right column, the type of tab or format is noted. At the top, you can see the first result is their official tab, followed by other types including Guitar Pro, tabs in text format, as noted by just the word tab, power tabs, etc. Now you can see in their own description their official version is created by their own team. It's not a truly official tab endorsed by the artist. That in itself is extremely rare. They also don't allow ratings displayed here for their own tabs, but by their own accounts they are high quality. But from my experience, they are definitely not, in particular when it comes to guitar solos. Their depiction of the rhythm guitar parts seem pretty good to me, but I find their solos to be pretty bad. They are quite often missing notations of really basic things like hammer-ons and pull-offs, finger tapping, etc. Now I have to be careful what I share with you, and if I showed you an actual screenshot from their website of one of their tabs for the solos, I might get in trouble because while I paid for the access to view them, you didn't, and that could get this video taken down pretty quick. But let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. I've recreated here a section of the solo from the song Panama from Van Halen as they tabbed it. Now let me show you some accurate tabs for those parts of the solos to compare. Notice in the first part that I have highlighted, they're missing the notations for the hammer-ons and pull-offs that are occurring. And the reader would therefore, assume that these are just straight picked notes. Now that, some people might be able to overlook that, but the next part really bothers me. These are supposed to be bent notes at the 9th fret of the G string, with the right hand finger tapping notes applied on the 14th, 12th, and 16th frets. What the Ultimate Guitar team has transcribed is quite different. There's no reference to finger tapping, and it just looks like a bunch of string bends. It's very odd. Now this is just one example, and this is for an incredibly popular song, right? Now let me reiterate that from what I've seen, their official tabs for rhythm guitar parts seem pretty good. And it's really the guitar solos that I have a problem with, especially solos that are at the kind of intermediate to advanced level, because it's kind of hard to screw up the real basic stuff, right? Now you may be thinking that surely there must be worse sources out there for tabs, but one very important factor that I took into consideration when deciding this was my least favorite source was that they are not free. In order to access their official tabs, you need a pro membership with Ultimate Guitar. Now currently that costs $10 for 1 month or $40 for a year. Now I noticed there's a promo recently for 80% off the annual membership, so that could still be in effect. But when I bought it a few years ago, and I really didn't know what I was getting into, I bought a lifetime membership while they were running a promo. And back then, a lifetime membership at regular price was something like $50, but I believe I paid less than that. Again, it's been a few years. But they don't offer lifetime memberships right now. Either way, I really say avoid these official tabs unless you're just going for rhythm guitar playing. Again, I do like the Ultimate Guitar website. I just don't like these official tabs. Also, I know the old saying, caveat emptor or buyer beware, and so I'm the only one to blame for buying into them. Now, there are other popular websites out there, such as guitartabs.cc, that I avoid, but in that case, it's because all of their tabs are in basic text format like this, which I just find really annoying to try and follow because text format tabs just look horrible to me and the notations are often indecipherable. No, I'm not trying to slam the guitartabs.cc website either, though. I just can't stand text tabs. But if you're okay with that format, by all means, you might want to check them out as they have a pretty sizable collection. And of course, Ultimate Guitar also has a pretty sizable collection of text tabs too. All right, let's move on to the positive stuff. I want to give an honorable mention to Songster.com. This seems to be what Ultimate Guitar's official tabs is striving for in terms of the format and approach, and it's more reliable. It's not perfect. Sometimes the notation is a little bit wonky, but I do like Songster.com, and sometimes I do go to it as a backup source. So I think they're definitely worth checking out. Now let's discuss my favorite source. But before I reveal the website, it's really important to discuss the format that I prefer, which is the PowerTab format. If you aren't familiar with PowerTabs, you need the PowerTab software to view them. Fortunately, that software is free, and you can find out more on how to download it from their website, power-tab.net. But I think I originally got mine from download.cnet.com over a decade ago when it was simply download.com, as they were a known entity to me at the time and a trusted source. Now, for the record, I want to make sure you know I'm not affiliated with PowerTab in any way. This is truly my own opinion, unbiased, unfiltered, influenced. And then, of course, before you download any programs or files from the internet, make sure you do your own usual due diligence to ensure you keep yourself and your computer safe. Anyway, what I love about the PowerTabs is that the format is extremely clear and easy to follow, and they are editable. So if you find a PowerTab for a particular song and you notice a wrong note or notation, you can just make the change yourself. You can also use the PowerTab software to entirely create your own tabs. I use it to create all the tabs that you see in my lessons here on YouTube. But just as important as all the positives I've mentioned thus far, I typically find the PowerTabs out there to be the most accurate tabs out there, typically on par or better than Songster, but it really can vary depending on the song. Keep that in mind. So where do I recommend you go to find individual PowerTabs for your favorite songs? Well, it's actually Ultimate Guitar. So my least favorite source for tabs is also my favorite. And I told you I'd be discussing them more later in this video. So from what I've experienced, they really do seem to have the best collection of PowerTabs on the internet. And I wish I knew who created all those PowerTabs and posted them on their website. But I want to say thank you to whoever that person or those people are that are responsible. And again, they aren't all perfect, but for me at least, I find those PowerTabs to not only be the easiest format to follow, but also usually the best in terms of accuracy. So at the end of the day, I say check out the PowerTabs, which again, Ultimate Guitar seems to have the best library of, and also check out Songster as a backup. But as I said at the beginning, I want to hear from you guys too. Let me know down in the comments section what are your favorite sources of tabs on the internet and why you feel that way. Alright guys, if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. And of course, leave those comments and questions down below and I will attempt to answer all as time allows. Until next time, rock on.